AmCham's summit. That's right, it's all about this, the Tech Hub Island Summit for 2025, where it's all about engagement, execution, and evolution.
I'm Dmitri Dawkins. I'm the Managing Director of Graft Ventures, a Caribbean-based venture capital firm. I'm also the Commercial Director for MC Systems, which is a technology solutions company. We do work with governments, large financial institutions, etc. across the globe.
Your thoughts when it comes to artificial intelligence being, I wouldn't say reintegrated, but really pushed into society now?
It's inevitable. We're already using it. When you consume media on a daily basis, a lot of it is AI generated already. People are prompting, as Chris had just mentioned a while ago, and using it for their jobs and for general inquiries on a day-to-day basis. As a matter of fact, I had an interesting conversation with a recent graduate from high school, and they plan to not go to university at all because they think that AI will give them a better experience from learning that a equivalent bachelor's degree program for free, rather than having to spend how much money per year and learn in a way that they're not used to.
So when you talk about this learning, is it that once we have AI, have we reached a stage where we no longer need school? Or are you recommending that we need to get to the classrooms?
I think that education is going to change to adapt and augment AI, or use it as a tool. It is a tool like any other. And the key thing about AI is that we still need critical thinking. And you need to develop these critical thinking skills. And on top of that, we need to improve our validation skills. Just because AI says it doesn't mean that it's true. So we have to be able to test, we have to be able to validate the information that we're getting and make sure that it's contextually correct, because it may give you a response based on certain assumptions, but that is the incorrect context for the use of that data or information.
Well, we do understand you get what you put in, right?
Exactly.
But then, can we safely say that AI is making it very difficult for us to find credible sources, because we see what seems to look and sound like a particular individual delivering a message or a speech? How can one now, ascertain whether this is AI generated from the actual individual themselves? It's a very, very fine line.
It still is a very fine line, but we just have to look for the clues. You have to look at the mannerisms in, say, a video. You have to think, hey, is this probable, based on if it's like a member of parliament or something like that, would this really be something that they say? If it sounds untrue, it most likely is. And then just find multiple sources of information. Just like in a university setting, you'd want multiple sources or cite multiple sources for when you're writing a report. See if you have other areas of coverage. So if you see something on one media source, are other media sources saying the same thing, and go ahead and validate.
Because one of the things we're getting right now, and you will agree with me, one scenario is happening, one thing is being said, and then moments later, we get fake news.
Exactly, yeah, and especially because everything is so, let's call it volatile right now, and everybody's looking for that clickbait sort of headlines. Sometimes you really might have to wait a bit, wait half an hour, wait for an hour, and see if, again, multiple news sources are reporting the same thing, or to see if it's taken down.
Interesting fact, if it's taken down, because sometimes, we in the radio world, and Tuska is in studio and she can validate what I'm going to say here next. We get information all the time. Sometimes we on air and something hits us. The most responsible thing we can do is the fact find on it. Exactly. But while we're doing these shows, sometimes that and all is very difficult. We want to drop the news first. We want to get that groundbreaking fact that then people can say, hey, let's listen to Davey, let's listen to Tuska, let's listen to Freedom, because they have that information. But then it is very critical for us to fact find, and as you mentioned, wait a minute.
Right, and then what you might have as well, of course there are disclaimers. You may say, hey, this is pending additional information, but in the future, as you're producing reports or producing information and news, you can also cite validation information as well, so that way your public or audience can know that, oh no, this is true, and these are the sources related to this information for public transparency.
Beautiful, beautiful. There's a word we just use in Trinidad, it's alleged.
Right.
That's a word we use in Trinidad and Tobago. And in wrapping up, I asked most of the vendors I chat with, most of the guests this morning, when it comes to AI, all right, augmented intelligence or artificial intelligence, as Mr. Record just alluded to, is this something that we should be afraid of, or should we embrace it?
Both. It's a very powerful tool, and I think that everybody should have a very heavy amount of skepticism and fear towards it, but that doesn't mean that you don't go ahead and do it. When we jump in our cars on a daily basis, there is a chance that we'll have an accident.
True.
but we're still traveling a
go.
vehicle every single day, right? So you have to be aware of the responsibility of using these tools. And so using that, and again, maintaining a heavy level of skepticism, it allows you to feel more confident or how to better leverage the tool for day-to-day life.
And I thank you very much for chatting with us here on Freedom 106.5 FM.